Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy IV 100%. I am Circle Master, and I officially predict a 0% chance of getting the Curse Ring today. I expect not to get it. I expect not to get anything, in fact, other than pure ones. What I do expect to get is a level or two for Rydia, which will be useful. Or Deathly says, sup? What is the drop rate on this thing? It's the rare drop, so it's the same as everything else. It's 1 in 64 to drop, 5% chance of an item drop equals 1 in 1,280 for a particular kill to result in the Cursed Ring. Fails delay to ask what level is Rydia. She is 48, I believe. And she learns Fatal at 52. At that point, I will be able to test out the Lilith theory. And demonstrably prove that it will not work. And that I will have to farm the Lilith rod the hard way. And I will hate myself. Astute viewers will note that I only did limited life potion nonsense with imps to get the imp spell. But that's because imps were super common and appeared in large groups. Liliths appear in, I think, 3 formations out of 8 at best at the summit. Or Deathly says, can you uncurse the cursed ring so you actually need to farm 2? No. You cannot uncurse the ring. Even in Final Fantasy VI, where you could uncurse the cursed shield, you could not uncurse the cursed ring. It was just a cursed ring. Megamagicide asks, what about the summons obtained from enemies, bomb, imp, etc.? Do you have those yet? Yes, I do. I have Bomb, Imp, and Mage. Cockatrice was not implemented in this version of Final Fantasy, so there was no need to hunt for that. There's also no Chocobo, or no, there is a Chocobo. There's no, what was it? I'm blanking out. There's one... Well, there's a couple that are advance only that I'm now blanking out on. Because I'm tired and I didn't sleep well. Megamagicide says, wasn't there Mind Flare summon as well? That's Mage, it's called, and I had that. Mage, Imp, and Bomb. So yeah, mostly this is going to be for levels because, as stated, I have zero anticipation of actually getting a useful drop today. At some point, I'm going to have to look at what enemy gives the most XP that I can farm. Because I want to do that before I do any of the item hunting in the final dungeon. I want to do the final dungeon and do the 99 grind. I guess that can be concurrent with the non-Pinktail ones. But keeping people, you know, I'm not going to be able to have this rhythm with the final dungeon grind, just because, for one thing, I won't be able to one-shot enemies. For another, more people will be alive. So really leveling up while item hunting in the final dungeon is not feasible. I mentioned this last night. I found out yesterday that I'm getting a press pass for San Diego Comic-Con. So, Friday, Saturday, I will not have a daytime stream because I will be on a train to San Diego. I may do a Fiesta stream in the evening, like super late. Because the other day I did do a really late night 4-job Fiesta stream, and for some reason had like half a dozen people watching it. Or Deathly asks, is that this weekend? Yes, it is in fact going on right now, but pass is only going to be for Friday and Saturday. Mega Magicite says, funny how spirits aren't undead, and since when did reviving enemies in an RPG make them give them even more XP? If I would have known that then, I would have beaten 4 advanced by now. I don't know if it's only this version that does it, but yeah, when you kill an enemy is the trigger for incrementing XP, and it basically increments a kill counter, and the kill counter dictates how much XP and gold you get, as well as item drop triggers. And it does not distinguish between whether it's the same instance of an enemy or a different one. It just counts what type of enemy and triggers on kill. So, yeah, you can kill the same enemy over and over again, and each time you kill it, it increments the counter. And then at end of battle, it just checks that counter to give XP and gold, and then it rolls for items. So if you were doing this on an emulator, you may be able to save state during the battle. Like, you could, you know, kill 100 enemies like this, save state, and then finish the fight. And just load that state over and over until you get the item drop. I don't know if the RNG is seeded at that point or not, but it doesn't actually make the check for the drops until the battle ends. The Madisite asks, but how do you guarantee that Rydia moves before Rosa, since higher agility in games doesn't always guarantee you'll go before another character? At this point, I've got Eris with fast on her, with haste. And even then, it is very rare for her to get double turns. Like, I only ever see it, I've only seen it like a handful of times during this whole grind. And it's usually not from spellcasting. Spellcasting usually takes long enough that people get their turns normally. And it's more so that she can get her turn back up faster after casting the spell, so I don't have to wait on Rydia's command to fight. Because I have had instances where, well, I had Cecil, whatever, doing the fighting, where he attacks and kills the enemy, and the enemy animation finishes before Rosa gets her turn. So she can't target the enemy with life 2 at that point. So the fast is more so that Rosa can keep up. Rather than worrying about Rosa double turning the attacker. Mega Madisite says, also, doesn't Lilith have a weapon you can only get from her? Yes. Board Deathly, real quick, asks, is there a time limit between killing the spirit and when you can life to him? It has to be on the screen to be targeted, even if it's the fading purple. I have to be able to target it with life 2. Once it disappears, there's no longer a selectable object there, and you can't target that space with anything. So if the purple fades out completely, I've missed my window to life 2. Regarding the Lilith, yes, Lilith is the only monster that drops the Lilith Rod, and it's a rare drop. Lilith is also undead, so this trick does not work on it, because it is immune to life and life 2. Life spells have no effect on it. So you cannot revive them with life 2 to continue killing them. And the fact that there's no animation at all makes me think that it is not like using a life potion where it counts as a revive and then an instant kill again because its HP is such a 0. Which is what happens when you use life 1 spell or life potion. I think it just doesn't work. The spell fails. So, that is why I want Rydia to get Fatal. Because in some Final Fantasies, when you cast a death spell at an undead, the monster like disappears as if it worked and then reforms because it's undead. It's being revived. I don't know if that works in this version with Fatal / Death. And 2, if it does work, I don't know if that counts as a kill for the counter, the same way that this exploit works. But it is my only hope of exploiting the Lilith Rod drop as opposed to having to grind it out the hard way, which I do not want to do. Raphael Zelita says the classic Phoenix Cave in FF6 when you realize you keep reviving that Grim Reaper looking thing. Oh yeah, there's a surprising number of undead in the Phoenix Cave. I remember playing as a kid, and I had Shadow because I love Shadow, and he had the Striker, and he would hit, I think they're called Brain Pans, the floating heads that cast Blowfish, and that stop spell. They're really annoying. He would attack them, and it would always proc the insta-kill, and it would revive them because they're technically undead. And I did not understand for the longest time that those enemies were undead. Big Magicite says, doesn't the Lilith Rod have an abysmal drop rate though? I've killed plenty of Liliths and never got one. Yep, it's the rare drop, which means that it's a 1 in 64 chance of being the drop on top of the 5% chance of the monster dropping an item. So, almost every item that I'm after in this is like that. Where it's the rarest drop in the table at 1 in 64. Mega Magicite says Phoenix Cave has the stronger palette swap of Brain Pans called Phase. Yeah, I just don't even remember the name, but I knew exactly what they looked like because they're freaking annoying. Raphael Zuleta says every first playthrough stream of FF6 I watch, someone always makes that mistake with that weapon and just keeps reviving undead. Mega Magicite says the Goblin Summon must be a rare drop too then, because I never get it no matter how many goblins I kill. That is true. All of the spells are 1 in 64 when they drop at the 5% drop rate. Mega Medicite says, and the same goes for the Bomb Summon. The Bomb Summon is actually even worse because a lot of people think you have to kill bombs to get the Bomb Summon because it's called Bomb. But the bomb enemies don't drop the Bomb Summon. You actually need to kill balloons or grenades to get the Bomb Summon. So you can kill bombs for your entire life and never get the drop because it's not on their drop table. Team Menard says the Final Fantasy IV you're playing is the worst localization ever. Not only that, some of the items you're showing are very hard to get, unlike the other versions of Final Fantasy IV on the SNES. Mega Medicite says, I've never seen balloons and grenades so far in FF4 Advance. I farmed them on the surface of the Moon overworld. So if they got renamed in the advanced version, that's where they appear. And Raphael Zuleta rightly says, in response to Timmy, yeah, but it has the original Spoony Bard quote. I'm almost done with this fight. Big Medicite says I'm at the part where I gotta go to the Tower of Babel after you defeat Calcabrina. Oh yeah, you're a ways away then. You're a couple hours away. Why did I cast Life 2? I'm done. Alright, so this will be 101. And as expected, stack of cure potions. Let's check on Rydia's level though. She's not going to gain a level today. She's 4 fights away, at least. I forgot to cast fast. And mute. Okay, I guess they just suck. Or Deathly says, is there a limit to how many drops you can get? Because that item thing was all full. Yes. You cannot get more than 8 item drops. Mega Medicite says, my characters aren't level 30 yet, so I can't go to Tower of Babel. My only level 30 plus character right now is Kain at level 31. If 30 is way over leveled for Tower of Babel. like, when you revisit the tower later in the game, you're going to have a character join at level 25, and that's what your expected level is going to be. Again, after this dungeon that you're going into. So you're fine on level to go into the tower right now. Button asks, what drop are you trying to get from this, guys? This is for the curse ring, but I have a 0% chance of getting the curse ring, so this is really XP for Rydia. So, I spent a little time this morning looking over the event schedule for Comic-Con. I'm open to suggestions for what I should attend. Poor Deathly asks, do souls drop the same thing as spirits? Yes, they do. These guys don't seem to always die in one hit from Rydia. Am I not killing this? Am I paying that little attention? Is my kill counter off? Deathly says, I thought there was one attack that didn't. Well, I didn't notice. That was 208. That was the least damage I've seen from her, and it was still a kill. Magicite says, my characters in 4 take so much damage that I have to constantly heal, though. I try using the weaknesses of the enemies to kill them faster, but I still leave the battle needing to heal someone. Yeah, that happens. You do take damage. Just use cure spells and stock up on healing items. If you've been watching my 4-job Fiesta run, which I'm guessing nobody has, I go through high potions like water. Raphael says, yeah, I just use hella healing spells, though I played SNES version, which I know is different. Raphael gets -5 points for saying hella. Pen says, if you don't get the ring today, I'm breaking up with you. Pen, how can you break up with me when you're not even subscribed? Or Deathly has that nice little icon. But I don't see such an icon for Pen. Or Deathly says hella is a time-honored Californian word. As a Californian, I strongly disagree with that. Pen says, don't get smart with me or I'm taking the kids. Honestly, you can have them. It gives me more time to grind if I don't have to take care of the kids. Oh man, that was a 96 roll. That was not a kill, yeah. Wow. That was terrible. Or Deathly says he must be from SoCal or something. It was all over the place, way up in NorCal. NorCal sucks. I am from SoCal. Orange County. That's why I'm taking a train to Comic-Con and not a plane. Raphael says they say hella because of South Park. Magicide asked, do I have to kill Barnabas first or Dr. Lugai first in order to trigger Barnabas Z for the bestiary? You need to kill Barnabas first, the robot. Poor Deathly says I might have to unsub SoCal as Garbo. Well, that I would feel bad about. Penn says I never heard hella until South Park used it, but then again I lived on Long Island at the time, so who knows. War Deathly says we really should be 2 states. I actually know why California is only 1 state. Despite, you know, the size and diversity of opinion between North and SoCal, NorCal, SoCal. And I also know why California was a free state before the Civil War, despite the fact that it's actually pretty good plantation weather that would support, you know, Southern slave style, what is it called? Not sharecropping. But, you know, the plantation farming. And the answer to both of those is gold. Because of the gold rush. The gold rush did 2 things. One, it made California very wealthy, which hastened its progress from a territory to a state. Because there was so much wealth in California, it achieved statehood very quickly. And the other half, why it was not a slave state despite being in the South and having appropriate farmland and weather and whatnot. Because, I mean, just look at California wine country. Those could be southern plantations instead. But it was because of the gold rush that slavery was kept out of California. Because miners who were working for themselves did not want to compete with slave labor in gold mining. So they worked very strenuously to keep slavery out and keep California a free territory and then a free state when it achieved statehood. That's why California was a free state when the Civil War started, despite being in the South. And why it was a state when the Civil War started, not a territory like so many other territories were. It's all thanks to the gold rush. Again, it didn't kill, and I did the thing. Man. Alright, next kill I need to not hit the counter. War Deathly says you calling it in the South triggers me, because I grew up in Humboldt County. Well, like I said, the rush to statehood is why it stayed 1 state for the whole territory. And it's definitely, or portions of it at least, are definitely south of the Mason-Dixie line, which was briefly the boundary between North and South states. Ever so briefly. War Deathly says, oh yeah, it does go all the way down. Yeah. It goes right down to the Mexico border, in fact, which is why there's so much illegal immigration in California. War Deathly says, but in my head the South doesn't go west past Texas. I think that's true of pretty much everybody in America. When you think of the South, you think of the Southeast, actually. And when you think of, like, California, Arizona, you either specify Southwest, or you just think of the Pacific as a region. Mega Magicite says, I just realized that the Lilith Rod is rarer than it actually is, because Lilith in and of itself is a rare encounter. If I were to go up to the summit of Mount Ordeals, it's 2 or 3 out of 8 encounters have a Lilith in them. But there are fewer encounters with spirits and souls. So that... I'm pretty sure it was at the summit there were 5 out of 8 encounters that were desirable for me. But here at the base, it's 6 out of 8 encounters are desirable. There's only like 2 encounters that are all skeletons, red bones. And every other encounter can either give me the Lilith Rod or the Cursed Ring. Ugh. Raphael says, I think I've learned more about California in this stream than in my US history classes. I live on the East Coast, though. Well, I will be sure to tag this one video in the whole of FF4 100%. This one video will be the one tagged educational. Mega Magicite says, also it's apparently supposed to be possible to find red bones on the mountain you meet Yang on, but I've searched every section and never found one. I've only ever found any on Mount Ordeals. I don't know about that, I'd have to check. But I mean, what's true for the Super Nintendo version is not necessarily true for the Advanced version. And the encounter tables that I'm using are for the Super Nintendo version specifically. Raphael says, if anyone ever asks me about California's history, I'll just find this video then. Be sure not to timestamp it for them, make them watch the whole thing, and maybe I'll get a new subscriber out of it. I don't know. Or you could be really mean and just link to the playlist and say one of these videos he talks about California. Just watch all of them just to be sure. So yeah, once every 25 or so videos, I'll say something interesting. It's sorry about that. Oh, these guys give more XP than the spirits do. That's nice. Oh look, 4 Cure 1s. Might as well use some. And with like 11.5 minutes to go, I'll just get as far as I can in the next fight. Oh hey, it's a Lilith. Will this be the one in 1280 that gets me the Lilith Rod? Let's overkill and find out. Nope, it wasn't. That was 4 misses in a row. I'm kind of amazed. Magicite says you can be even meaner by sending a person a link to the channel and say, here, one of the videos in one of these playlists has a history of California on it, search for it. Oh, I forgot to reset my kill counter. Kill counter, reset. There we go. Hey, Madisai says, how does magic miss outside of FF6? I have no idea. That's the only explanation I could come up for why they cast Fire 1 and it didn't do anything before I had cast Muted on them. I don't even know why I'm keeping count, I'm just going by time. And 9 more minutes of grinding. Let's just boop that off. Why not? Alright, see you later, Raphael. Can't stick around for 8.5 more minutes, huh? Oh well. I appreciate any amount that anybody watches. If someone tunes in for 10 seconds, that's 10 seconds more than I'd expect anybody to care about what I do. Kind of disappointed that Rudy's not going to gain a level today. Hey, Madisai says, I would have watched all your FF4 streams if I didn't keep missing them. On the one hand, I could say it's the thought that counts. But on the other hand, I could say that analytics say it's the views that count, not thoughts. Ow. Oh, shoulder. I'm gonna have to do something for my shoulder after this. Probably hook myself up to that TENS unit, the electrical stimulator thing. Electroshock therapy machine. Which, I don't know if it does relieve pain or just distracts from it. But I seem to feel better for a little while when I use it. It seems to be a help, which is more than I could say for acupuncture. I got 2 minutes left. How many can I kill in 2 minutes? Who cares? It's all about that XP, because I know I'm not getting the ring. Know 100% that I'm not getting the ring. It's just about that XP. Gotta get Rydia to 52 to try the fatal thing on the Lilith. Otherwise, infinite sadness. The infinite sadness of having to manually grind for the Lilith Rod without being able to use a single exploit. That is true pain. Like, even the Pink Puff battles, I could at least do the life potion thing to get a couple extra shots at it per battle. Pen says, why do you need Fatal? Why can't you just kill it like the others? Because the Life 2 spell doesn't work because Lilith is considered undead. But because Lilith is considered undead, like I know in FF6, if you use a death effect on an enemy, it disappears and then reforms, it revives. If that will also work in FF4, if it will disappear and revive, that might count as a kill and trigger XP, gold, and item drops. So if all that's true, I could cast Fatal 100 times and do the 100 count for Lilith and expect to get the Lilith Rod in 40 encounters instead of several thousand. I guess 4,000. But it's all predicated on Fatal actually doing that to undead enemies in Final Fantasy IV, which I have no idea because I never used Fatal, because Rydia's job was to spam Bahamut all day, every day. Let me use those cures I just got, because, whoops, because I don't need, I especially don't need multiple stacks of cure potions. But in any case, that will do it for this morning's stream of FF4 100%. I will be back tonight for the 4-job fiesta, where I will be taking on Fork Tower. And then I'll be wondering what the hell I'm supposed to do next in the 4-job fiesta, because it's been way too many years since I played Final Fantasy V to completion. But until then, take care.